Episode of What Are People Mad at Me For Now? Not checking my emails in a timely manner. I wish I was joking. Forgot to respond to an email from this creator that wanted to collab with me, and instead of just like hitting me up again, they made 7.
From TikTok's fact machine with millions of followers and Netflix deals to a creator known for racism, plagiarism, and fabricating evidence, OnlyJayus' career is a spectacular case study in self-immolation. Today, we're dissecting the long, embarrassing downfall of OnlyJayus, real name Isabella Avila. We'll unravel how a string of damning revelations, from using racial slurs to faking evidence, utterly eroded her audience's trust, exposing why she's become the poster child for career destruction and why her attempts at a comeback consistently make things even worse. If a public figure you admire were exposed for serious misconduct, what level of accountability would you demand for them to regain your trust? Is there a point of no return for creators who repeatedly lie? Share your ethical line below. Once hailed as TikTok's favorite fact machine, OnlyJayus rapidly ascended to online stardom. Isabella Avila, her real name, captivated millions by delivering rapid-fire psychology hacks and engaging Reddit-level trivia in a super palatable, I just figured out how humans work style. She meticulously built a massive following, quickly racking up millions of loyal fans. This rapid growth translated into lucrative opportunities, landing her coveted brand deals with industry giants like Netflix and Tinder. She even expanded her reach, hosting her own show, seemingly solidifying her position as a rising digital star. However, just as she appeared to hit her absolute peak, her carefully constructed world came crashing down around her. The catalyst for this spectacular implosion arrived in 2021, when an old classmate leaked damning DMS, exposing a horrific side of OnlyJayus. These messages revealed her using abhorrent language, including full-on racial slurs with a hard R, explicitly aimed at someone for being in an interracial relationship. Jonathan Moss, another creator, later revealed that when he confronted OnlyJayus about these screenshots, she initially dismissed them as photoshopped. However, when presented with irrefutable evidence, the receipts, real ones, dates, context, the whole conversation, she backed down and apologized profusely. This was not a nuanced case of quoting a song or a misguided joke. This was targeted hate with no sugarcoating it. The internet, understandably, flipped. In the immediate aftermath of the damning revelations, OnlyJayus released a now infamous apology video. This production was a masterclass in manufactured contrition, filled with what many perceived as fake tears, accompanied by dramatic piano music and saturated with an "I was in a bad place" energy. She solemnly stated, "In my past, I said disgusting things to people, and I am so ashamed of myself for using racist rhetoric and derogatory language to hurt others because I knew what that word meant and I understood the power behind it. But I said it anyway because it was the meanest thing that I could think of. And I am so sorry to everyone, but especially to those in the Black community, because only you guys can forgive me for this, and there is no excuse and there are no justifications for what I said, and you guys deserve better." She claimed this behavior was rooted in a hateful and angry high school phase and didn't reflect her current self, even promising to use her platform to highlight Black creators. Spoiler alert, she didn't. Right after her public apology, a prominent Black creator named Aunt Karen revealed that OnlyJayus had indeed reached out to collaborate, ostensibly as a form of public redemption, but then completely ghosted her. There were no replies, no follow-ups, just silence. Aunt Karen, rightly, called her out. OnlyJayus' response was a classic deflection, not a sincere apology for the ghosting, but a victim monologue blaming her ADHD. She claimed time blindness made her forget to respond to emails, texts, and apparently promises to uplift Black creators, lamenting, "I can't even text my family back, and now you want me to prioritize you." This justification significantly shifted public perception. As the commentary keenly observes, if you're serious about righting a wrong, maybe don't use your neurological disorder as a PR shield. As if the initial apology drama wasn't messy enough, another creator, Xander, came forward with an even more damning revelation. He had actually ghostwritten parts of her original apology. The insinuation was clear. They had someone ghostwrite their apology so that they didn't lose their brand deals. Xander himself confirmed, "The person that helped you write the apology is me. Hi." He had spoken about it previously, and after OnlyJayus confirmed the truth via text, Xander then tried to help them to the best of my ability while still being extremely angry and frustrated. He explicitly stated that he helped with a good bit of the apology, especially the part about Black creatives. Xander genuinely believed that OnlyJayus would hold up their end of the bargain, despite acknowledging, "I definitely do feel like I was a little bit used, even though I was friends with them before this even happened." He felt that in her moment of crisis, she needed a Black person to talk to, and he was one of the only people, and Sean as well, able able to talk to them and still show kindness and love to them. Yet, up to this day, it just seems like that end of the bargain just hasn't been held. According to Xander, OnlyJayus specifically sought his help in crafting an apology that would protect her lucrative brand deals. Once she had utilized his words and seemingly cleaned up her image, she completely cut contact with him too. This revealed a pattern of calculated manipulation, first ghosting an ally, then engaging in ghostwriting for self-preservation. For a while, this double deception worked. Her platform seemingly survived, and her fans, surprisingly, didn't vanish overnight. But this temporary reprieve was merely a precursor to the next wave of scandal. The N-word controversy and the subsequent fallout evidently failed to teach OnlyJayus any meaningful lessons about integrity. Her next major scandal revolved around systemic plagiarism, demonstrating a brazen disregard for intellectual property. As the commentary humorously notes, apparently that didn't teach them to be a better person, because look what they just did. Her public condemnation of content theft, while simultaneously engaging in it, became a recurring OnlyJayus cycle. She once posted on Instagram, "This dude copied my content more than once, and when she crowded me out, I threatened her, and then delete the comments." This was aimed at a male creator whom she accused of copying her video on "What does your birthmark say about you?" He countered, "No, her video was in the bathroom. Mine was outside, and I found the content off Google." He even found her video and conceded, "Yeah, she made it." Yet she became really aggressive. Her earliest feud over plagiarism was with Jonathan Moss, whom she accused of copying her video format despite both drawing from the same public article. She launched a full-blown rant about how content theft was ruining the platform, vehemently stating, "It literally does not bother me. I just think it's really weird when other big creators think it's okay to copy my video word for word and act like you didn't." This moral high ground was swiftly obliterated when viewers began digging into her own extensive video library. They uncovered a shocking pattern. Entire scripts were lifted word for word from Reddit threads, blog posts, and scientific articles. There was no credit, no sourcing, just her face in front of a camera reading stuff off the internet like she discovered it in a lab. The audacity of OnlyJayus's plagiarism reached unprecedented levels in 2024 when another creator, Alex Byron, called her out for uploading a TikTok that was nearly identical to his, word by word, bar for bar. The replication was so precise that even the cadence, the phrasing, the entire structure was mimicked. She didn't even try to remix it. When Alex exposed her, OnlyJayus offered a familiar defense. They both got the idea from the same Reddit post. However, this time, there was a critical flaw in her alibi. The Reddit post didn't exist. Alex, confident in his assertion, escalated the challenge. "Cool, I'll give you $10,000 to charity if anyone can find it." He publicly announced, "OnlyJayus stole one of my TikTok videos. I have the proof on my page. I called her out. She denied it and said this, that we both got the idea from the same Reddit post. I am offering $10,000 to charity right now if she can send me the Reddit post, and if any of you on the internet can find the Reddit post, I'll give you $1,000 and we'll donate the other $9,000 to a charity of your choice." Predictably, no one could find the elusive Reddit post. That's when OnlyJayus, in a desperate attempt to salvage her crumbling credibility, magically found a screenshot of the post on a live stream and presented it as irrefutable proof. However, Alex and his vigilant followers quickly exposed her elaborate deception. She made the Reddit post herself, commented on it from an old account, screenshotted it, then deleted the entire thing to make it look real. This wasn't merely plagiarism. This was a calculated act of fraud-level gaslighting, a deliberate fabrication of evidence to mislead her audience and evade accountability. After the exposure of her fabricated evidence, OnlyJayus predictably went quiet. Her views plummeted, her fans dipped, and she made yet another pivot in her content strategy, attempting to rebrand herself as a voice for political commentary and protest footage. However, even this attempt at relevance was met with failure. In 2025, TikTok itself dealt her a blow, issuing a community guideline strike for one of her activism posts. OnlyJayus, ever the victim, responded with another video pretending to be confused about why it happened, despite the post being filled with sensitive language and strong political claims. Once again, she played the "why me" card, even though her violation was clear as day. This established a chilling pattern. She plays clueless when caught, blames her mental health when confronted, and performs apologies only when she feels concerned. It's a recurring script, but the audience stopped clapping years ago. The pattern of her erratic and problematic behavior continued to escalate into her personal life. In 2024, her ex-girlfriend reportedly filed a restraining order against her, accusing OnlyJayus of showing up to her home uninvited in the middle of the night and having a history of rage and obsessive behavior. The ex-girlfriend further claimed that OnlyJayus would weaponize her following against people, a chilling accusation that, based on her past actions, doesn't sound far-fetched. Although the restraining order was later dropped, OnlyJayus once again retreated into silence. By this point, the public had widely come to the realization that her issues were not just a few bad decisions. It was a consistent pattern of exploiting people, avoiding accountability, and refusing to grow. If this detailed expose on the rapid decline of a once major creator resonates with you, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. We're constantly dissecting the intricate dynamics of internet fame and the harsh consequences of deception, keeping you informed on the most compelling stories in the digital landscape. Your support empowers us to continue this important work. In early 2025, as speculation mounted about a potential TikTok ban in the US, OnlyJayus posted a dramatic goodbye video. In this highly performative farewell, she reflected on her time on the app, vaguely admitted to making mistakes, and thanked the platform for supposedly changing her life. It was likely intended to serve as a redemption arc, a final, poignant curtain call that would elicit sympathy and forgiveness. Instead, it largely came off like the closing monologue from a character who never learned their lesson. The comments section, a direct barometer of public sentiment, was predictably split. Some individuals, perhaps more forgiving or less aware of her full history, offered words of absolution. However, a significant portion of her former audience rolled their eyes, completely unmoved by her latest performance. The underlying reality, keenly observed by many, is that OnlyJayus has had more chances than most creators ever get, and, tragically, every time she gets a second chance, she burns it like a bridge behind her, leaving behind a trail of broken promises and disillusioned fans. This recurring pattern of squandered opportunities has become the defining characteristic of her career, sealing her fate in the unforgiving landscape of online content creation. The inevitable question arises: how does someone with 18 million followers, lucrative Netflix deals, and a genre-defining niche as a fact machine end up here, a pariah in the very space she once dominated? The answer, as this chronicle makes clear, is not rooted in a single misstep or isolated controversial remark. It's a cumulative effect, a consistent pattern of self-sabotage. It's about doubling down, lying when caught, faking screenshots, ghosting the people you hurt, deflecting responsibility, blaming everything on mental illness, and then acting confused when the internet doesn't buy anymore. What's truly crazy is the palpable missed opportunity. She could have still had a career if she'd just been honest, if she credited her sources, if she actually supported the creators she promised to uplift, if she followed through even once. Instead, she became a walking case study in how to burn your own brand to the ground, slowly, publicly, repeatedly. At this point, OnlyJayus still posts, and she still tries to act like everything's normal. However, her comment sections are no longer filled with adulation. They are filled with reminders of who she used to be, not in a cancel culture way, but in a "we lost your trust in you" kind of way. The stark decline in her viewership is self-evident, a testament to her lost appeal. Once an audience feels that a creator has lied to them over and over again, there's no apology long enough to fix that. Even the most skilled editor can't cut around that kind of damage, as the fundamental bond of trust is irrevocably severed. And so, we conclude the story of the fall of OnlyJayus, a cautionary tale of how a once promising internet career came to a definitive, self-inflicted end. No psychology hack, no fabricated evidence, no last-ditch apology could bring this one back. Her journey serves as a stark warning to all creators. Authenticity, accountability, and genuine respect for your audience are not optional. They are the bedrock of sustained success. When those foundations crumble due to repeated deception and self-serving behavior, the collapse is not just inevitable, but absolute. She became a vivid example of what happens when a creator burns every bridge and alienates their fan base, leaving nothing but a legacy of broken trust.